You've heard from doctors and other health professionals about how Desert Oasis Healthcare can help you navigate the medical world. But arguably, the best way to truly understand what DOHC can do for you is to hear from the people impacted every single day. I'm your host, Bianca Rae. Welcome to The Pulse. Desert Oasis Healthcare serves 60,000 members of the Coachella Valley and the surrounding desert communities, many of whom are seniors, either living alone at this point in their lives or just having a hard time navigating the medical system. But when you take some time to talk to some of these members, you'll see this common thread of them detailing the ease and the peace of mind that comes with being a part of the DOHC family. But don't take it from me, see for yourselves.
How are you?
I'm Bianca.
Hi, Bianca. Nice to meet you.
We're both Italian. Tony was such a sweet man, starting with the festive cupcakes he had for us when we walked in. He has that Italian background, that hospitality. You can tell he was really excited to have us in his home. You know, his partner passed away a few years ago, and I know it's been an extremely difficult time for him. And he's a good man who you could tell just is eager to support an organization that has supported him so much. He seemed so excited to get to talk about Desert Oasis Healthcare, and he had so much to share about the love and support that DOHC has given him over the years. You've been coming to the desert now, either living here or visiting for nearly 60 years. That's remarkable. What do you love so much about this special place here, the Coachella Valley?
The people. It is a beautiful feeling.
It's amazing.
The people is so different. So we got apples anywhere. One thing that I like, that I love in here, they take care of the senior citizens a lot. They don't do that in other places. I've been all the time this way trying to figure out things in life. And living in here, we are in heaven. The people here are so nice. They help the kids for Christmas. And they help the senior citizens, the farmers market where they give the food away and stuff like that. And you don't see this anywhere else. I didn't see that in Juarez. I didn't see that in Texas. I didn't see that in Los Angeles. And here, everybody helps each other.
The desert, a beautiful place to live, a beautiful place to age. How would you describe your health, Tony? You said you experienced some pain, yes?
Actually, I got cancer. And David took me when they gave the diagnostic that I have cancer. And they both, Karen and David, which is the husband, they've been taking care of me, helping me, you know.
Are you in remission now?
Actually, no. I'm supposed to have a injection every 3 months. And to have a pill. The pill really made me sick. So my doctor told me that I don't have to have the pill, but I have to have the shot. Besides that, I'm taking I'm diabetic, I have blood pressure. And the problem that I have, I worry for everything. But I'm working out the best that I can, and the special medication manager called me, and they're always working on me. One of the things that I had is my depression. For almost 3 years, I cried. And my partner used to have his room. I gave him a room for his music. He was eccentric in music. So when he passed away, I can go over there to the room. Twice I fall asleep crying in the floor. And I have to do something, and I work out very hard, but my depression is really bad.
The way Tony described Tad sounds like he was such a vibrant man who had so many passions, music, and then combine that with Tony's passion for art. They just seemed like a perfect fit. You know, you could totally understand it. It's funny, he showed me a photo of Tad, and he was younger and had all this hair, and I made a comment, oh, he's so handsome. And he's like, I never even noticed that. And I love that because Tony, it's like there's a million other things that were amazing about him that I loved. And he's like, I don't think I ever even realized how handsome he was, which was just a really sweet way to showcase their love. This was from the movie The Bodyguard. Because Tony used to work in LA at the Pantages Theater. And this is from The Bodyguard.
Yes.
Wow. I just got chills. What part of the movie was this?
The film, I don't know if you saw the movie, The Bodyguard.
One of my favorite movies.
Well, when she got the award.
Yes.
They did the whole
I just got chills again.
Stage, but they don't use the original.
It's one of my favorite
one
movies.
time I was in the middle of the morning, I went in the morning and they just finished shooting at 2 o'clock in the morning. I went very early to put everything together. And then I was in the middle of the stage, I said, God, this is beautiful. And then behind me, I didn't hear it, it was a technical director. I said, you like it? I said, yes, and I like those. I know where can I put it. And I had it in Los Angeles, but when I moved over here, I said, this is it, I bring it over here.
That's amazing.
This one and those over there.
It's one of my favorite movies, The Bodyguard.
And this was his music room. This was his collection.
This was Tad's music room.
Music room, yeah. That was his collection. Every year I give him one for Christmas.
So what did he love about cars?
Actually, I wasn't too much into cars, but I like the old ones. And he used to love those kind of cars. So every year I give him one.
That's so sweet. Is this where he spent most of his time? In this
Yes,
room?
that was his recreation. He never went out or something. Then there was no walls, full of CDs.
And were these some of his favorite musicians?
Yes, and those are the first albums.
These are the greats. Elvis, the Beatles, Elton John. Do you still feel him when you come in this room?
Yes, I don't want to do it anymore. I wanna go ahead. I suffer a lot.
You know, Tony, I know the last 3 years have been the hardest of your life since your husband passed, and I'm so sorry for your loss, and I appreciate you sharing about his memory. How do you feel like your life has changed in this past year since joining the Desert Oasis Healthcare family?
You know what? Right now, I have to hold whatever I can do. Like right now, I hold myself to David and Carol and his kids. He just come and hug me. To my health, which is not very good, I'm trying to work it out. For me, the Oasis is really my oasis for my health. I love that place. I'm very happy. I love the people. They're very nice. Several times I've been in intensive care, immediate care. And when I come out from there, I feel good. I'm very happy with the Oasis, and everything is right there. The other places, they were all over the place. 3 times I went to Palm Desert, and they don't have my appointments. I said, no, you don't have. I said, yes, they called me, I have an appointment. No, you don't have any. I said, oh, forget it. I went to the Union Rally. Then David told me, I says, I'm going to put you in the Oasis. You have to go to the Oasis. It's going to be the new. And I'm really, really happy. And I'm not lying. I'm not patting it up. It's one of my hopes. David, Karen, the kids, the Oasis. Now it's a senior citizens that I want to do more. I want to get involved even more.
I'm curious, I just want to better understand, like, give me an example of something you went through in the last year that you really felt grateful to have DOHC there with you. Was there a certain health issue you had, or one of those times you had to go to immediate care? How was it different having DOHC behind you?
One time I was feeling really weird one of the times. And I feel like everything was turning around. So they go over there, they check my high blood pressure, blah, 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 and then they take me to another room in the bed. And the doctor came and I says, I want you to explain it with your words. What's wrong with you? How do you feel? I says, I feel this. He says, you have vertigo. I says, how do you know? I says, you have vertigo, what you just told me. He says, listen, I'm gonna give you this. It was like at 10 o'clock in the morning. By 5:30, I was feeling great. Is that beautiful? To depend on something like that, some location that you don't feel good, you go and you're gonna get well. It's like a salvation. For me, it is. This is only my opinion. I feel good.
What is your interaction like when you need to call and ask questions? Maybe you're confused about something, whether it's customer service or trying to get a hold of your doctor. What is that experience like?
I never have any problems. My doctor has the receptionist, and she's a nice lady. I never have any problems at all. I'll go over there, they take care of me right away. And everybody, how do you feel, Tony? Because I told them not to call me Anthony. Remember when I used to do something wrong when you were a kid and your father says, Antonino, or your mom says,
I'm glad I asked, so now I know to call you Tony, yes.
He says, no, Tony, feel more comfortable doing that, And I says, please call me Tony, I feel comfortable. And when you go over there and when I hope that you don't feel good, but you're gonna get well, you can already got it in your mind, psychologically, it makes me feel good. Like that day when I went over there, right away he told me, you have this every 3 hours. I said, okay. One more satisfaction that I want. I like my doctor. When I went over there, he says, Tony, you destroy yourself.
Your doctor said this?
Yes. He talks to me honestly. He doesn't talk to me like a doctor, like a friend of mine. He says, you know what? You're going to crying every day, and you don't do something for yourself, and everything is going your system. You have to react. You have to do something for yourself. And if you don't want it yourself, nobody else can do it. Or you want to have a tons of pills. I said, I have more pills in my house at Walgreens, I don't want any more pills. And I said, well, you have to do it yourself. And this is what I'm doing now. And when I react to my life, and I take the pen of the Oasis. I can't, there's no buts or ends.
Tony, I think I was just recently talking about this to someone that I think loss is the hardest part of life. And it's, unless you're going through it, you really can't understand what somebody's going through. But I'd have to imagine that Tad would be happy that you found Desert Oasis Healthcare, knowing that you're taken care of now, because I know he's not here with you, but you have this other family. What do you think that Tad thinks when he looks down and knows that you're being taken care of now by this new family?
Well, know him. He will be happy that I belong to the Oasis. Because before he passed away, we belonged to the Oasis. And we had the same doctor. But at that time, I was very healthy. All the problems is what happened to me all these 2 years, almost 3 years. I know he will be happy in my decisions because he always trusts me. And I'm sure he will be happy that I belong to the Oasis. And like I said, it's not only that, it's that my trust is in that place.
You mentioned before that this was the best thing that ever happened to you, joining DOHC. Why is that?
Suppose you got a friend and you trust him a lot or trust her a lot. And then, do you know every time when you got a problem, you go to your friend and he or she will help you to solve the problem. So you gotta trust. You believe. You like her, you love her, or you love him, or whatever, then you got a friend who always help you. What else to have when I'm old and sick? You gotta have a place, your oasis. That's what it is. That you're gonna feel good. They're gonna help you. And this is, I need help. So where can I go? The oasis.
You know, Tony was very vocal about the last few years, how difficult they've been since he lost his partner. And he has medical complications he shared with us. So there's that. Add to that, he shared that he's going through depression since his husband died. And that's a lot to navigate for anybody on your own, no less. And it seems to me what I really gathered from him is that Desert Oasis Healthcare made it a really comforting few years for him as he learned to navigate his medical journey on his own. It's so different from what I've heard from people. It's so different when you're used to being able to make these important health decisions with your spouse, and then all of a sudden you have to be your own advocate and go it alone and make these decisions on your own. And I know it's been so difficult for him since his husband passed away, and he just made it really seem like Desert Oasis Healthcare has given him some peace these last few years as he's trying to navigate his healthcare alone. So I was so excited when I learned Gonzalo played chess. I play chess. I was on the chess team in middle school. You don't find a lot of people that know how to play chess anymore. So when I learned we got to play chess during our interview, I was very excited about that. Gonzalo's been with DOHC for many years, well over a decade, I recall. He first learned about them through his parents' healthcare, so he was helping navigate their healthcare. They were members of DOHC. He just said the natural progression was just for him to join the DOHC family. And now him and his wife are members, and he just has the most amazing stories. Okay, shall we commence?
I guess.
I do have to tell you that I used to know a move that was checkmate in 3 moves. I don't know it anymore, so don't worry. But I used to be able to do that.
See?
Can you believe that?
See?
I'll go first. Okay. So you were not born here, but you came here to America, to the Coachella Valley, very young. So raised here.
9 years old.
What? As a local, I'm curious, like as a native, I know what I love about the desert as a transplant. What do you love about here, living here as a native?
I like the peace, the pace. I like the people, the weather. The summer, as I've gotten older, it's become a little more difficult. But then sometimes it's not.
The price you pay for 9 months of beauty, right? Those 3 months.
Look at this.
I don't know.
Look at this. This is heaven.
Yeah.
This is heaven. Yeah.
And you said I was fascinated by, you said you started learning about Desert Oasis Healthcare first, helping your parents manage their healthcare, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience.
Well, my parents became elderly, and I started, driving them to their appointments and this and that, and we would end up at a Desert Oasis. I had no idea, what it was, and I soon started learning that they managed what the doctor did not have time for, or specific things that they needed to have done, and right away it was like, come this way, senora, and this and that, and I thought, boy, this is a bunch of nice people, just.
Yeah.
And as time went on, I started realizing how comforting they were. My mom was always very skittish with doctors, never trusted them. She knew better, And Desert Oasis always was like, oh, I like those people, and oh, I'm gonna go see so-and-so. And I said, who's so-and-so? Oh, it's the nurse, and on a first name basis type of thing. And then I stepped in on my own, and I started receiving services from them.
More than a decade ago, yes?
Yeah.
And your wife too?
My wife too.
Okay.
In fact, right now, she's being looked after, Desert Oasis. And it's comforting.
I'm curious, Gonzalo, if you could kind of paint a picture to juxtapose, if you will, what your medical care was like previously, compared to, and I know that was 10 plus years ago, but compared to now, what is so different about DOHC? How would you describe it?
I managed my health. I felt like I was forced to play doctor. And, you have a cold, something like that, blah, 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 you can medicate yourself and whatever. But when you move a step up in illness and you start using medications, you need somebody I feel that you need somebody to supervise you. Or somebody that you can pick up the phone and say, listen, today, last night, blah, 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 I felt this, I felt that, oh, don't worry about it, it's part of this, or that. And they give you advice. But before, it's like, I need to talk to the doctor about my illness, and it's like, well, his next appointment available is in about 30 days.
Right.
And so what do I do between now and then? And he goes, well, you can go to urgent care. Well, urgent care is like, they got to look at the papers, and you don't feel confident. You don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable.
It's more, I take it you get more immediate care from your primary care physician with Desert Oasis Healthcare. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
But Desert Oasis feels the gap. It releases the doctor from having to constantly be seeing me. Sometimes I feel I need to talk to someone twice in a week because things change. And I understand the doctor, he has his appointments or what have you. Desert Oasis steps in. And it's like...
Yeah. I'm curious, I once heard someone say their idea of health and longevity is, or their goal, if you will, is to be able to walk on their last day on this earth, walk to their mailbox and be able to get their mail, like have the health to be able to walk outside and get their mail. What is your hope for your health and your longevity?
I like to be functional. Physically and mentally. I don't want to be constrained, and I suppose when you start slipping mentally, you don't realize it's happening. I don't know. But I like to be aware. I like to be aware.
And maybe play a game of chess.
Yeah.
In your 90s.
Yeah. Okay. And you know what? You're distracting me with the game. So did you move?
I did. Gonzalo is a larger-than-life personality. He teased me the entire interview. He was so fun. Gosh, he has wonderful memories. He has a really deep, rich Coachella Valley history of being raised here, meeting his wife at a very young age, getting married at a young age, starting this big, wonderful family and having daughters. And you could just tell he's a family man through and through who loves food. He's in the culinary world, loves family, and just loves living here and loves Desert Oasis Healthcare.
This is an award we received for the Gene Autry Hotel. It was a Restaurant Row Awards, distinguished restaurants.
How old were you both there, would you say?
Let's see, I could have been 23, 24.
Aldape Gonzalo, Jr., Food and Beverage Director for the Gene Autry Hotel, far left.
I have had so many different names.
Gonzalo has this rich, long, deep history of the Coachella Valley, of being raised here and meeting his wife very young and starting a family here. And he actually worked for Gene Autry, so it's just such a storied career of his time here in the hospitality business, working at hotels, and he cooks as well. He does a little bit of everything. So he just has such great pride, you can tell, for the Coachella Valley. You could tell he's like, people love to live here. You have to love to live here. It's a little gem and you choose to live here. And he seemed like the desert's biggest fan and DOHC's biggest fan. Is there anything else you want to add when you think about Desert Oasis?
I'm curious who's behind it. The people that I've observed at Desert Oasis, they give immediately. As soon as you walk into the door, you receive it. And yes, it's possible that they have a group of people that do that, but somebody picked them. Somebody
It starts at the top, they always say. It
Well,
starts at the top.
there's an energy force. There's a mission somewhere. There's some people involved, and I would truly like to find out who they are and thank them, really, because they maintain an even flow of caretaking. It's the same, but these are different people, and that strikes me. Somebody's responsible, and my credit goes a lot to the individuals, but I know that there's someone that is gathering these people and they're coaching, and I really would like to meet them and say thank you.
I've been afforded the opportunity to learn a lot about DOHC during my time here at the Pulse, and in turn, most beautifully, get to meet many of the people impacted, right? A part of that DOHC family, the people out in the community. I love that. That's what I love about journalism, right? Meeting those people. And it's just been interesting talking to all of these different people, having separate conversations, and all of them saying the same thing. And none of it's planned. None of them know what the other person's saying. And they all just talk about the peace and peace of mind and reassurance and calm that comes with being a part of the DOHC family, knowing that they have somebody looking out for them, knowing that they have somebody who cares, feeling like they're seen and heard, especially at that age in life where seniors are often forgotten. It just makes me really happy for them to hear so many people share these stories of feeling so much love and support from DOHC. Seeing what people go through in their later years, what I've learned from Gonzalo or Tony, or even just seeing from my own parents, it's easy to fall through the cracks, right? These doctors understandably have so much going on and so many patients, and sometimes people experience calling their doctors and self-diagnosing or asking for what they think they need medicine-wise, and just getting a yes from a nurse or a yes from a doctor, and that's not necessarily always in their best interest. What I've learned from people I've interviewed who are members of Desert Oasis Healthcare is that they don't have to be their own advocate. They have somebody fervently looking after them, what's in their best interest, treating them like family, and looking out for what they really need in those later years of life. You know, they say that the senior population is often called the forgotten population, which is just heartbreaking to me. And I've learned that DOHC makes sure nobody's forgotten.
Check, mate.
Ah! Is it really? Oh my gosh.
I didn't want to correct it because you're on camera.
Good job. Good job. I'd like to say I was distracted because I'm trying to facilitate an interview, but I won't make excuses.
The first half.
Okay.